It's Prime Day, everyone. So what does that mean? Shopping time. If you're an Amazon Prime member, you've probably been doing this for a few years, getting some great deals at Amazon as soon as the stuff opens up. But if you're not a Prime member, you should get signed up. You can use any one of my links that's below for the accessories that I have that I picked out specifically for you guys. And most of these are for the Z8, but there's some things in there for the Sony cameras that I've used as well. So you can use that link, go over to Amazon, sign up for Prime, get your Prime membership. It gives you free shipping when you order things. So that being said, let's talk about some of the things that I have found that I think will be useful. When I peruse Nikon's website and look at some of the accessories that are available for this camera, there are some manufacturers that were listed. Sennheiser, Zhiyun, Atomos, FX Lions, SmallRig. There's a couple others I can't remember off the top of my head right now, but those are the ones that they've listed as far as accessories that are available for the Nikon. And I remember on launch day, I saw that they had, the Sennheiser MKE2 mic on there, but that's a pretty big mic. That thing's more for studio work. What I do, my thing is like a travel studio. So I'm gonna start off with some of the things that I use for my cameras. First and foremost, a tripod. I use the outsize tripod. I bought it right before I started traveling, and it's a pretty good tripod. It's carbon fiber, pretty light, right about 4 pounds. Very useful, and it's helped me a lot. My video head is from Sachtler. It's the Ace M. It's an older version. There's some new versions out here, but they're kind of pricey. So you can check it out if you're looking for that as well, or you can find something totally different on Amazon. Again, just use the link, go over there, anything that you want to buy. If it's not from my site, it's not what the links that I have. You can go on Amazon and browse. You have like 24 hours of browsing before you basically, anything after that, I don't get the credit. So I like if you use my links, buy it right away, or come back, click on it, and go ahead and buy it. So that helps the channel out. One of the things that I've used that I liked a lot is the Deity microphone. My current Deity microphone is the VMic D3 Pro. I understand it's been replaced by a D4 version, so I would recommend that one as well, because even though I had this one and I used it, I'd recommend the newer one because that one has internal batteries that you can replace. This current one that I have doesn't have that. It's always built-in battery. It sounded like a great deal at the time, just charge it up and use it. But of course, if you didn't charge it and you try to use it, it's not gonna work. So go ahead, get you one of those that takes a AA, I think it's AAA batteries, and you put that sucker in there, and then you can record whatever you want to. You don't have to worry about the battery dying if you forgot to charge it. And the sound is actually pretty good. If you're in a studio setting, the other one, I did a review on it about a year ago or so. It's the S-Mic 2S. It's basically a shorter version of the long shotgun microphone. Or you can get the longer version if that one works for you. I use it as an overhead mic kind of outside of the screen area, and it worked very well when I had my studio setting. So look for that one as well. You may like that one. When it comes to power, one of the things I love about the Z8 is that it has 2 USB-C ports on it. One for power delivery and one for data transfer. So if you're filming for a long period of time, the internal battery is pretty good. I'm not gonna say it's not gonna last for a couple, maybe like an hour or so. But if you want to be sure that you have power and there's no issues, the SmallRig V-mount battery is what I picked up for my personal use. I like the small form factor. I like the fact it has a USB power delivery port on it, a USB-A port. It has 2 barrel slots, 8 volt and 12 volt, and it also has a D-tap connector. The setup that you're seeing right now is with everything connected. You can see that the monitor is connected via the D-tap. The camera itself goes to the USB-A port, and that makes for a really simple setup for my YouTube studio use. And I'm pretty sure if you're someone who has a rig that you're gonna take around or on a tripod and you do a lot of filming for music videos, or you film videos, you make film with the Z8, this battery will be very useful. Now this comes in 3 different sizes. There's a 50, 99, and 150. I went with the 99 because I travel a lot, and basically there's a limit for traveling on airlines. So I went with the 99, give me a good amount of power, but at the same time not exceed what I can take on a plane. I'd love to get the 150 for longer stuff, but who knows, maybe I'll invest in a second one. But If you need it, again, click on the links, go ahead and purchase one from there. The next thing that you will need is a DTAP cable. And you can find these in the links below as well. Get the DTAP cable. Depending on what monitor you're using, you can get the right cable and you can either screw it in or you can plug it in the back. Again, different monitors use different things. I've seen some out there with USB-C power delivery connection. If you use a USB-C power delivery, then you're going to take it away from your camera. You'd have to use basically a dummy battery, go into a USB-A connection, or maybe the DTAP to go into the camera. So that's up to you as far as how you want to do it. There are multiple other batteries out there as well that you can choose from. It depends on which one you want to go with. I just chose a small rig because I like the small form factor and it works for me. In addition to the battery pack, make sure that the cable, the power cable that you use, the USB-C cable, is a USB-C power delivery cable. If you don't use power delivery, basically it will power the camera, but it won't charge the camera. I should say it this way, it will basically charge the battery when the camera is off, but it won't power the camera when the camera is on. It'll be basically a battery will still be plugged in. And I learned about it the hard way with my Sony cameras because the battery pack that I was using was not power delivery, and I always wonder, why is the battery draining when I'm filming even though it's plugged in? So I had to learn that you need a power delivery cable in order for things to work and a power delivery battery pack. Let's talk monitors for a moment. You've heard me talk about my Atomos Ninja. I've basically been utilizing this to record with my Z6 II. I got it because I wanted 10-bit. It's out there. Atomos also has a Shinobi. It's a 5-inch version and a 7-inch version. What is in front of me right now is a 7-inch version because this one works much better for my eyesight. You know, I'm wearing glasses and so on. I need to check at times to make sure that I'm in focus because this Z8 does not have a flip out screen. So you could be talking for a period of time and not really know what you look like. The camera lost focus. So you want to make sure you have an external monitor to be able to see yourself when you're filming, especially if you're solo. There's another one out there by Hololand, which is the Mars M1. This version also allows you to send signal to another monitor. The Atomos also makes something similar. So I'm not going to go into depth about all these things. When you go on Amazon, the cool thing is that if you find the vendor link, there's always like Atomos store, Hololand store, and I'll show you all the things that they sell inside the store so you can see all the additional items that they have that will help you to make a decision as far as what works best for you. Let's talk about storage for a second. For my Ninja, I use the Angelbird. It's the Atomx. This is basically the SSD. What I like about this SSD is that it's smaller than the one that comes with the Ninja. So basically once you put it in, it doesn't hang out the side. You can't bump into it and have any problems when you're filming. I find that's very cool. Of course, there's a handle that comes that you can, well, you can buy the handle that you can use to pull it out. But for me, I find it easier to slide it out and I can take it with me. So there are a number of items that, you know, I think you could use if you want to go with the Ninja. And let me say this first and foremost. The Z8 does all the recordings internally. It does not output RAW. If you want to use a Ninja for external recording, you can. There's really no need for it. Personally, right now, all I'm using is my Shinobi 7, and I have plans to sell my Ninja and the Shinobi 5 because I don't want to carry around all these things anymore. And the fact that I know that my camera can record up to 8.3K RAW, if I ever get to that level, everything can be done internal to the camera. I won't need an external recorder. And again, the Z8 and the Z9 does not output raw signal currently. Who knows, maybe Nike will change your mind. But right now, all the raw recording can be done inside the camera, which I think is a fantastic thing. It's a cost-saving thing in my mind. You get an external monitor, you don't need to get a recorder. You don't have to get the most expensive one. You can get something that works well. There's DesView, there's a bunch of different things that are out there that people like. So it all depends on, you know, how much you want to spend on these things. I like the Atomos stuff. I find the Shinobi is a really bright screen, the 7 version, because that's a newer version. It can go up to, I think it's 2000 nits, so it's really bright for outdoor use. I have not put it on my camera to try it outdoors. Usually if I'm outdoors, I'm, you know, utilizing the screen in the back of the camera. The Z8 has a pretty bright screen, so that works out very well. don't need to take a monitor even when I'm outside. But in case you do, for filming, a 7-inch version in my mind works better than a 5-inch. If you want a 5-inch because you want something like an HDR screen, because they do sell some of those out there, you can pick that up as well. Again, click on the links, figure out what you want, go from there. So earlier on, you may talk about storage, or at least I showed you some storage devices. This is my 4 terabyte SanDisk. I purchased this before I started traveling because I know it's going to generate a lot of video and probably the files are going to get big. So I picked that up to travel with. Now the different versions are new versions of storages that are out there. So you have to depart the different version of storage devices on the market. You just have to determine which one works best for you and which one you like. So far, the Crucial I also got, I think this is a 2 terabyte version. This has not failed me. This has worked pretty well. Let's get it closer. Anyway, it is a 2 terabyte version. I know it's not pick up the information on it, but this one is a 2 terabyte. They're both of them about 1050 megabits per second. They're not as fast as you would think, but they get the job done. I don't edit from them. I tried it. It's okay, it's decent, but because my Mac is very fast, I'm going to go ahead and use everything inside the Mac, and it works perfectly well. I don't have to worry about anything. When it comes to storage, there's a bunch of different CF Express Type B cards out there. I've also linked that there's one in particular that I like that I want to pick up. I use Angelbird. Basically, that I've liked that brand since I discovered it for the Atomos, and I've been utilizing that 1 terabyte version. It's actually the first version that they had. There's a Mark II version out, and there's a new versions that are coming out in the market right now that you can pick up as well. And the new versions are like 775 megabytes. I think it's like 660, 1330, 1.3 gigabytes, sorry, 1.3 terabytes, and 660 gigabytes in size. They're a little bit pricier than the older versions, but you have to find out which one works for you. I won't say good Angelbird because I've read and seen some videos that have said that the size may be a little bit too thick for the Nikon cameras. So the one that I listed below is Next Storage. Matt Granger mentioned that one. It's a Japanese brand. I want to pick one up, but it's pretty pricey at $749. It used to be $799 when I looked at it. The $749, so the prices are coming down. I'm going to wait a bit before I pick up that one. And I like to have really good stuff because I spend the money in the beginning, one time done. I don't have to keep buying stuff, it fails and have issues. I'm done with that. Clamps. You notice there are clamps on my tripod. Basically, these things help me when I move around. Smallvig is a brand that I've chosen to go with. I've used other brands in the past, and after a period of time, they break. You also have articulating arms. Smallvig sells some, other brands sell some. One Smallvig articulating arm that I bought failed me some months ago, so I just buy other ones out that I can use, and you can choose which one works for you. It's just a matter of what your use case is and which one works better. Keep in mind that some of them, it all depends on how much weight you put on them. They could, break faster, or they can't handle the weight, so they will definitely break. So keep that in mind. Choose whatever one you want. Get the clamps, get the articulating arm, especially for like a solo shooter. That will help you out a lot. Now for editing, I use the MacBook Pro M1 Max, first generation of it. It's been a pretty good machine for me. Now the M2 is out. If you do video editing, one of the things I can say about Apple computers, ever since they put their own chips inside of them, they've put in encoding and decoding chips inside of it, and the codecs that it can handle is like ridiculous. It can go up to 8K, multiple streams of 8K video running at the same time, which is great. I'm not going to tell you which one to buy. The one that I got was the 24 core GPU version with 32 gigs of RAM. The new version, I think it goes up to 96 gigs of RAM or some crazy numbers like that. I haven't upgraded my machine because everything is working fine. I've edited 8K video, full 8K video from the Z8 and then from the A7R5. Didn't have any issues working with them. So it's a great machine. If you don't want to buy the newest one, you can still pick up one of the older ones. You can get them on Amazon, Apple Store have refurbished. Anyway, but since we're talking Amazon, go get the link, right? Amazon. So with that, I'm going to close out the video. Hopefully you guys will find something that you like and you want to buy. Again, other than camera lenses and parts, there are tons of other things out in Amazon. So if you found something that is to your liking after browsing the links below, go ahead and purchase it. I want to thank you all in advance for helping me and helping the channel out. I'll see you guys in the next video.